Alright guys, it's been 7 months since I last uploaded the video about documenting my journey, number 1. And now I'm gonna show you number 2, which implements all the stories, all the bullshit that happened to me, and also everything that I am going to do in the future and how I plan to do it. Simple as that. Let's crack into it. Boom. Okay, starting from mid-October. That's when you saw the first video. And since then, no upload, no update, nothing. But now there you go. First thing, there's so many things. Well, I failed. Like, this is the overall thing. I failed at a lot of fucking things, including job interviews. I got kicked out of my job. I lost people in my life, including family members. Also, some good things have happened, of course. Well, continue with the failures. I was constantly late for dates, jobs, everything, meetings, everything. I was constantly late. It's like a mess, but on the core of the mess, it was very calm. It's like in the eye of the storm. Everything inside was like, okay, everything is okay, everything else is a mess. But I'll explain to you. If you stick to the end, you get a bonus idea about self-esteem. That's very important, actually. Well, because of that motherfucker with the phone, my old phone, which I'm recording the audio with right now, which decides to switch off whenever it wants. The battery just dies like this. So I was going, because the job that I was doing was they send me to different locations, different times, different jobs, different roles every time. So you need to be fucking creative, adaptable, and just do what you have to do to get it done. And because this motherfucker constantly switches off, I had to be the most sociable, social, creative, adaptive person on the world in order to find the job, because I don't have any location, I don't have anything. So I go to different people, to hotels, banks, everything, to just ask people to do me favors of all kinds. So I failed at all these things. However, at one point, after the December catharsis which I went through, because the communication seduction pickup thing which I was doing started going very tough in the winter in London. So at one point I decided to I didn't decide it happened naturally, just breakdown of the system, and I stopped it. After that, I started building my personal brand. And at that point, approximately, one of my employers decided not to pay me for a few months. Well, I was okay with that until I realized that he doesn't pay all of his staff, his employees. So I wrote him a message saying, you need to pay me, otherwise it's not a good thing for you. And then I received threats from him about his lawyer, about he's getting me to court. He's the last person to threaten, because he's gonna take it personally, and from there you never know what's gonna happen, and all of that kind of shit, which is not the way you talk to me, which was the starting point of the war which I waged against my employer. Because he refused to pay me, then I received threats, and I received also a threat that I'm not gonna be paid until the court is over. Of course, no reasons to get me to court, only threats. Alright, well, I don't respond to the threats, although this is the means, I don't know, this is the way he basically and usually deals with his employees when they start to push him for the money, and they just become silent. Well, I didn't. So, by the way, this is a book which I used, implemented the tricks, tactics, and it's not a technique, but yeah, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. It's a book written 2,500 years ago, approximately. Not a very new book. However, I used the principles of it to wage the war against him. So, long story short, we went through all of the formal processes before the tribunal, before me getting him to court. He ignored all of it, maybe thinking that I'm just bluffing. Which at the end we went to the fucking tribunal, almost, like I submitted my case, ET1, saying, which is my case, like my claim. And I said to him, okay, I'm going on a course for 15 days where I will not have any contact to the outer world, which I'll tell you about. Therefore, you have 28 days to either pay me or submit ET3, which is defendant claim. Well, at the end of the course, I received my money. He got very nice guy. He was just a nice, sweet, new guy. Of course, finally showing him that I'm not bluffing. And first is that I got my money, and then his agency is now ruined because of the actions that I took. Maybe it's not just me, but I was a huge factor in that. Okay, continuing forward is that the course I told you about. It was a Vipassana meditation retreat for 10 days where you don't speak to anybody from the course. There were a lot of people. You don't speak to anyone. You don't even have to look them in the eyes. I failed that. You're fed only vegetarian food, and you don't have to use your phone, neither read books or write anything. You just like stop all of the incoming data in your brain in order to let the bullshit come out, if you can get that. Well, that was amazing course, very, very hard, but at the end I saw all the benefits, maybe not all, but some benefits. And there on the course I met a guy, a friend of mine now, who, well, I met a lot of crazy guys, some of them coming from Lithuania to Bulgaria with their bicycles, others just hitchhiking from Ukraine, and all of that crazy stuff, good friends of mine now. But this particular guy was a teacher in, or maybe like a life coach as well, about personal development thing, which I am mental about. And yeah, I went to one of his courses recently, it was amazing as well. Basically, that's what is going on with me. Keep on pushing the goal, my goal and my vision is the same. The best version of myself, the superior man. Same thing. Just keep on improving, although I failed a lot and I keep on failing, of course. It's not, and here is the actual value which I wanted to give you. It's not the problem is not failing, but the problem is how you deal with the failure. If you start crying, whining and all this kind of bullshit, yeah, you're gonna take a hit to yourself, to your ego and so on. But if you take the failure and learn the lesson and take the ownership of that failure and adjust, recalibrate and all this stuff, then you will continue to improve yourself. Okay, from there we go even deeper, and I'm saying that failing means that you do shit. And by you doing all this kind of bullshit around running around, failing, trying and putting yourself in different situations, you teach yourself that you, even failing, you can deal with the situation if you, again, as I said, take ownership and deal with the failure. Alright? So when you deal with all that bullshit, then you show to yourself, alright, motherfucker, I you with new situations. And boom, this is the core of your self-esteem. Now you're starting to work on your self-esteem, not only confidence, but now you're working on the deepest thing surrounding your personality. Self-esteem. Your self-esteem is basically fucking easy, dude. And I was so blind to it. You knowing and deep down believing that you can deal with new situations and you know how to deal with them, and you even not knowing how to deal with them, you are gonna be able and capable of dealing with them. That's it. This is it. Amazing or not, I don't know, or simple. But this is reality. This is as simple as that, dude. Cool. So if you take that, implement into your life, maybe you're gonna feel some benefits. Although again, putting yourself in all these different situations and speaking to people that you don't know and facing your fears, doing stuff that you're uncomfortable with and afraid of, this is going to improve your personality, yourself, your ego, maybe not, but your self-esteem for sure. So why not go and do it? Why not? I'll give you the next update maybe in half a year or 1 year from now. Oh, by the way, almost forgot. Can you see that? Well, I decided to cut my hair as well.